Why exactly should you be getting in shape in the first place? Well, let me just break it down to you right now really quickly. How has your life been going on as of right now? You're out of shape. You want to be in shape, but you're asking yourself, what's the point? Well, how has your life been going on right now? Do you like the way your life is? Probably not, right? Being overweight is not something you want to just keep doing. You want to get in shape, but you just don't have that motivation, that why. Why should you get in shape? Well, let me just break it down for you real quick. Today I'm going to be talking about how staying overweight will impact your life and how getting in shape will change your life. All right, so let's just start off with your current situation right now. You are overweight. Let's just put it like that. You are overweight. Now, whenever you stay overweight, what's going to happen? You're gonna have low energy. Now, whenever you're a very heavy person, you have a lot of body fat on you, your testosterone overall is just gonna go down. You're not gonna wanna be doing things. You're gonna wanna sit around most of the time simply because you have so much weight on you, you just hate moving in general. You're always going to have these negative thoughts about yourself. You're always going to have brain fog. You're going to have crashes midday because of the unhealthy foods you're eating and the processed junk that you're eating on a daily basis. You can't even think properly, so you're just sitting around doing nothing, and that's exactly why you have low energy. You don't even have any confidence in yourself because you're always constantly hiding yourself from everybody. You're wearing baggy clothes all the time. Whenever you go out in public, this is you. How do I know this? Because I used to do that all the time. I know what it's like to not have any confidence within yourself whenever you're overweight and you think this is going to change everything. Sure, it might hide it for a couple seconds, but are you feeling confident? Probably not, because you have to do that in public every time you go out. You have to pull out your shirt. That's not confidence. You're just hiding yourself. No one wants to do that. I can promise you right now, the most confident people you see, they're not pulling their shirt out in public. They're just walking. They're walking like normal people. Now, you're also going to have health risks. Now, these two, in my opinion, are probably some things that you care about more, and this is something that you don't care about at all, your health. Whenever you're overweight, you're going to have so many problems. High blood pressure, diabetes, insulin resistant, all of these problems that you probably have never even heard of or you know of in the back of your head, but you just simply don't care. Do you not care about your own life? Do you not care about these problems affecting you long term? Right? Because we can talk about all the benefits of getting in shape, but what about your personal life? Even if you do live by yourself, you're still never going to avoid these problems, right? Maybe you can, get away with having low energy by just sitting around doing nothing. Maybe you can get away with having low confidence by not talking to anybody, but you can't get away from this. This is always going to come back to you. You're always going to have these health risks. You're always going to have a high blood pressure, right? You're always going to be huffing and puffing every time you go somewhere. You're always going to have to keep your diabetes in check, right? You're going to have medications to take. You're going to have to go to the pharmacy to grab your medications because you're simply overweight, right? That's always going to be there, right? Maybe with these two you can get away with it, but the health risks, I promise you right now, you can do anything you want to. They will always be there if you stay overweight. Now, your relationships are also going to suffer. Now, most of you might care about this. Some of you maybe not because, you just sit around at your house doing absolutely nothing. Maybe you go to work, you talk to a couple of your coworkers, but you don't actually care because you don't have any energy or any confidence to have any relationships in the first place, which is why they're suffering. You can't make any friends. You can't talk to that girl. You can't do anything in public. You can't even go out in public. That's exactly what happens whenever you stay overweight. Relationships suffer. You just simply live a life where you're by yourself all the time. And you want to do something about it, but you just don't have that drive, that motivation. And I'm telling you right now, the relationships are always going to suffer. right? You see the most happy, successful people living a good life that you want to live, but the only difference is they're in shape and you're overweight. When you're overweight, the reason why they get so much, happiness from their life is because they don't get disrespected and they don't get walked over like you do. Right? The reason why you get disrespected is because you don't even respect yourself. You're not even taking care of the one body you have. If you don't take care of yourself, if you don't respect your own body, why would someone else respect you? You have these health problems that you just don't care about at all. So why should anyone care about what you have to say? Of course you're going to get walked over. Of course you are. It's so easy to because you simply don't care about anything. You're just sitting around doing nothing at home, eating junk food, not being active, doing anything but taking care of yourself and respecting yourself. Of course you're going to get walked over. You should get walked over. You deserve that. It's embarrassing and you should be ashamed of yourself for not respecting yourself. That's the cost of not respecting yourself. You get disrespected and you get walked over. And the only reason I'm saying all these things is because I personally went through them as well. I used to have the low energy. Everyone else around me was fit. Everyone else around me was athletic, right? I didn't even care about being the fastest, runner or being the best person in sports or whatever. I just wanted to have energy to do basic stuff, which I never had, right? I didn't want to walk out. The only reason why I talk about this story so much is because I used to do that every time I went to public. I thought this was going to fix everything. It doesn't, I promise you right now. I was the only one doing that. I was the only one pulling out my shirt like this in public. Everyone else around me never had to do that. Despite wearing baggy clothes, I still had to do this because wearing baggy clothes wasn't enough to hide my man boobs or my rolls. And everyone else around me not only wasn't doing this, they were wearing fitting clothes and they looked good in clothes. Meanwhile, I looked homeless. I looked homeless wearing baggy clothes, and I never felt confident or attractive because of that. And the health risks, I might look like a young guy, but I actually started to care about my health long term. Because as I grew older, I realized if I don't fix this now, I'm gonna forever just hate myself. Right? Most of you watching this are probably older, and the thing is, the time is just gonna fly by. And either you can live a healthy, good lifestyle, or you can just be miserable all the time and be depressed. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to be depressed and miserable because I saw other people living that way, and I didn't want that. So that's why at a young age, I decided to take care of these things right away. Right? My relationship's suffering. This ties into me, being disrespected and walked over because I had so many fake people in my life. People that I thought were my friends, they weren't actually my friends. I thought they were my friends because I would make jokes and make them laugh and, they would talk to me or whatever. But I never got invited. They never reached out to me on their own. And why is that? Because I never respected myself. So why would they care about me? Why would they care about my opinions? Why would they want to hang out with me when I don't even want to take care of myself? I was embarrassing to be around. No one wants to be around the fat person. You want to have like-minded individual. You want to have good people in your life. You want to have like-minded individuals. You want to find a high-value woman. You have to become that person, though. You attract who you are. You're only going to attract low-quality, overweight people in your life if you are that person. The reason why your relationships are suffering, the reason why you keep getting disrespected is because you deserve it. If you want to demand respect, if you want that respect back, if you want high quality people in your life, if you want good friends, good connections, good relationships, a good partner, you have to become that person that is worthy of having those things. And that comes whenever you stop staying in this comfortable position and you transition towards getting in shape. The time is going to fly by, I promise you. So either you can stay overweight or you can experience all these benefits that I'm going to talk about. Because I've been on both sides, and trust me right now, this will always be up there for me. I will never go back to being overweight. I don't care what anyone says. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me, but it was a necessary thing that needed to happen because if I didn't realize how life was then, I wouldn't understand how important and how grateful it is needed to be practicing the gratitude of getting in shape. Whenever you're in shape or you start getting in shape, your energy starts coming back. The reason why I have so much passion in making these videos and telling you to get in shape is because my energy is back. Right? I had the energy to sit at my couch and watch YouTube, right? Like you're watching this video right now, but I didn't have the energy to actually go out and do things like I do now by getting in shape. So that's the first thing you're going to notice. Your energy is going to start to come back. The next thing you're going to notice is the high levels of confidence you get. The only reason I'm confident right now is because I know the progress I made and I know how people treat me now, and I know that I get so many compliments simply from the fact that I got in shape. That's what makes me confident. Me just going to the gym, doing a little bit or like a lot of work, whatever the case is, just going to the gym makes me so confident. Because over 50% of the world is obese, like maybe you watching right now, and the fact that I'm in the gym and you're not just makes me confident. It's an ego boost, but in a good way, in my opinion. Because I'm getting better and you're just sitting around doing nothing. I'm putting myself ahead, you're back here. Why wouldn't that make me more confident? Right? And I'm not saying this to, disrespect you or anything. I'm just letting you know that can be you. You can have that mindset too by just going to the gym and understanding you are separating yourself from the rest of society by just simply going. That's it. You're going to have a healthy mind and body after you start going to the gym. Clearly. Right? You start making healthy habits for yourself. Because starting up is the hardest thing to do, but once you start, you become addicted. Whenever I first started seeing the progress, 5, 10, 15 pounds down, I became addicted. I became addicted to becoming a better version of myself, and that is a healthy mindset you want to have. That's a good mindset. You are only caring about you putting yourself in the best position possible. You're not caring about what other people think of you. You're not worrying about what they have to say or do. You're not putting yourself out there already. All you care about is just bettering yourself. And that's what you should want to do as a high-value man. That's a healthy mindset you want to have, and you obviously develop a body by doing so. Once again, when you start developing that mindset, that healthy body, you start getting your confidence back, your energy to do things in life, you develop the strong relationships. People see you then as a very high-value man. People start giving you compliments. When people started giving me compliments, I've developed stronger connections in life. I developed stronger relationships because I started attracting high-quality people in my life. Right? People that I actually wanted to talk to because I could relate to them so much. Right? The reason why you can't relate to anybody right now is because you're overweight, obviously, because they're in a better position than you and they don't really care about you at the end of the day. But whenever you get in shape, you relate to other people who are also in shape and who also have that similar healthy, strong mindset like you, and you develop strong relationships and you feel good about yourself. You're in a good environment. Especially in the gym or just whenever I worked my job, the amount of compliments and respect I was getting by just simply getting in shape and maximizing my appearance changed my life. It developed strong relationships. I wasn't getting walked over. I wasn't getting disrespected. When I talked, people actually made eye contact. People actually listened. People actually acknowledged and respected what I said. Right? But back then, it wasn't like that. People didn't even make eye contact with me, because why would they? There wasn't anything nice to look at. I wasn't saying anything that was worthy of being listened to. Why would they? But now they do, because I have that strong mind and strong body. Right? That's exactly where the respect will come in. You will get respect when you start respecting yourself. And yes, you do have to get a little bit of selfishness inside of you to become this version of yourself that's getting in shape, but it's worth it in the end because you putting yourself as number one is the best thing you can do for yourself, because I promise you right now, no one is coming to save you. The best thing you can do is put yourself first and start respecting the mind and the body that you were given. When you start respecting yourself, people acknowledge that. People see that. People see you actually working on yourself, developing your mind and your body. That is the confidence. You just working on yourself. People see that as you in a confident way. People see you in a strong way. People look up to you. They admire you. You become that high-value person by always working on yourself, and you attract the right people, and people respect you for that. So for you to go from being overweight to getting in shape, it's just a matter of how much time are you going to keep letting pass by? Because the time is going to fly by. Now, you can either experience time being overweight or getting in shape, and that decision is up to you. You say you want to get in shape, but you've let all this time go by. But it doesn't have to be like that. Once you understand that getting in shape is only going to lead to benefits, and you can finally ditch this old lifestyle, that's when you actually start to feel good about yourself. Now, if you want to do the same thing, if you're tired of being on this left side and you want to transition to getting to this side as well, book a call with me. Use the link below and book a call with me, and I'll see how I can help you out, if I can even help you out in the first place. See if you qualify. And if you have any questions as to literally anything about this, just message me on Instagram.